Hi there, thanks for tuning in to Dear Sybersue. I'm Susan McCord. Today's topic is setting emotional boundaries in your relationship. So what does this mean? The first thing you have to take note of in a new relationship is that you're both emotionally available. It is important to be on the same page when it comes to having your emotional needs met. And this has to be balanced in a relationship, because when it becomes lopsided, this is when problems can arise in a partnership. Because one person isn't feeling heard, one person is becoming impatient because they feel they're always having to understand what their partner's going through. So I stress very, very highly here that you take the time in the beginning of a new relationship to really get to know each other. Is this something that you can handle? Is there reciprocated respect when it comes to your emotional needs? We all go through stuff in our lives, and we're not always on par with how our partner is feeling, how we're feeling. And so this is what is really good to have in a partnership, where you can take turns being there for each other. You want to have it balanced, as I mentioned earlier, because if it's always one person having to have their needs met and the other person's being left in the dust when it comes to this in the relationship, it's not going to work long term. You have to be able to be sympathetic with each other, be on board with whatever's going on in their life, and vice versa. If it's reciprocated, you will always have balance. And that is what keeps a relationship evolving. Emotional boundaries include communication and respect for personal space. Understanding that your partner needs time to be with their friends, needs time to do their hobbies, and they need to understand the same for you. This is a wonderful situation if you can make this work. Because the one thing that you'll hear about in marriage or long-term committed relationships is it gets boring, or people take advantage of the other person, or there's complacency that comes in. If you always respect each other's space and honor the fact that they want to have time away with their friends outside, and then they come back into the relationship, you meet up again, and you've got so many things to talk about. There's no jealousy here. There's a valued respect for their time and theirs for yours time. This is something that I think a lot of couples forget, and they start becoming a little more possessive of each other, or they become very not understanding of the fact that maybe their partner needs to get away once in a while. These are all things that keep a relationship really strong. So don't become possessive of your partner. Honoring their space and them honoring your space is crucial to maintaining the longevity in your relationship. Sexual boundaries should also be really looked at here, because this is something that we don't always have the same drive. Some of us have maybe more limitations in the bedroom than our partner does. So you always want to be respectful that you're not making your partner feel they have to do something they're uncomfortable with. And this is a really good thing to talk about early on in your relationship. You don't want to blindside your partner with this alternative sex life that you might require. Please be honest about this right away. And your intimacy and affection should also be on par with each other. There should be intimate moments when you're not in the bedroom. If you're feeling less than amorous at certain times in your life, just talk to your partner about it. Don't just shut the door on it. I hear way too many stories of this happening. Just the sex is gone. There's no sex. This is really not a good idea in a relationship, because that is the glue that keeps you together as a couple, when you have affection and emotional connection with each other. Please don't let that go. Communication is number one in any relationship. And emotional availability. You have to be open to your partner when you're going through things. It's also really important to watch your tone when you are having discussions with your partner, Because if you're frustrated about something, it can come out pretty harsh. And then that makes your partner feel uncomfortable or a little insecure about what's going on. And they start questioning, are you not happy anymore? What's transpiring here? So always be gentle. And if you are going through something that's really, really crushing you, take the time to sit down and talk to them when you're maybe not in the heat of what's happening. Then you can sit down and talk about it in a nice, calm manner with them. And together as a couple, you can come to a conclusion on what you can do moving forward. When a relationship is in a healthy place, you take turns being there for each other. We don't always go through stuff at the same time. So this is something to really pay attention to. Watch your partner's body language, watch their moods. If they're frustrated or becoming impatient about things, sit them down and say, what is going on? If they're not open and letting you know what's happening, don't let it fester. Don't let it just keep going. Sit them down and say, no, we're a partnership here. This is something that we need to share on a regular basis. Don't shut me out. Don't ever shut your partner out. This is another problem that ends a lot of relationships because the partner just stops talking. In closing to today's topic, emotional boundaries will change within your relationship. As the years progress, there's going to be different things that you're going to want to implement into your life, into your thinking. You might have a different outlook about how you are romantically with each other. All sorts of things will come into play here. So just be aware of these changes. Don't shut out your partner. Please always talk to them about what's going on with you. And always be available to be open with your partner. That is the key to living a really great, healthy life in your relationship. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dear Sybersue today. Please subscribe, please click like, and leave any comments you have under the video. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.